Welcome everyone. In today's video, I'm going to go over what I think was the most important news that occurred in the Solana ecosystem last week. And at the end of the video, I'll also be going over what I think are some events that you should be looking forward to next week as well. So I'm taking a lot of this news from the Solana update, which runs a great newsletter. So I'll be leaving a link down below and you should definitely subscribe. And the first thing I wanted to talk about is the Marinade finance pools that have opened up on Raydium and Orca. So you can now go ahead and provide liquidity for MSOL pairs and the Marinade Finance token and get yield farming rewards for doing so. So make sure to check out Orca and Raydium for some juicy APYs and some yield farming. So there's some quite good opportunities out there now. I am personally yield farming the MSOL USDT pair on Frankium on leverage. So I'm doing 3x leverage right now, and it's currently yielding about 4,000% APY depending on when you watch this video. So definitely make sure to go ahead and check that out. The next news item is Sol Analysis. So they've officially launched a Sol Analysis Flex dashboard. So what you'll be able to do is connect your wallet to this dashboard and it should show off all of your NFTs and what the theoretical value of your Solana NFT portfolio is as well. So if you're interested in that and showing off your NFT wallet, definitely go ahead and check this website out. The next news item is from Solana NFT Radar, and it's concerning the SolScape NFT. So apparently this team has rugged, which is quite unfortunate. So all of the team's Twitter accounts have been deleted, as well as the Discord and their website. So if you go through this thread, you can see some screenshots of what's gone on. So that's quite unfortunate. This is another rug that has happened in the Solana NFT space. Luckily, there hasn't been a lot of rugs recently, but it's starting to become noticeable. The next piece of news is that Atrix permissionless pools and farming has gone live. So if you go onto the Atrix page and click on the farms tab, you can see a lot of different farms that are now open. So if you provide liquidity in the pools and then take your LP tokens and stake them in this farm, you get rewarded with certain different things. So the MSOL USDC pool is currently yielding 118% APY in Marinade Finance tokens. So your highest yielding farm here is the Solrise USDC one, currently giving you 4,400% APY, but always make sure to check up Atrix Finance and the farms that they have going. I mean, this has only been open the past week and we've had a few farms being added, but I'm sure in the coming weeks to months, more and more farms will start being opened up on Atrix Finance. So make sure to hop in the Discord, go onto the Twitter, check the website regularly to see what new farms are coming up if you are interested in that sort of thing. The next news item is Jupiter Aggregator. So this is the first DEX aggregator going live on Solana. I think this is the very first one you can actually use and has gone live. So if you're interested in that, you can go ahead and check out the Jupiter Aggregator website, and I'll link all of this down below. The next news item comes from Step Finance. So Step Finance have announced that staking has gone live. So the TLDR of this particular Medium article is that Xstep mirrors the implementation of Xsushi, but it's the first such contract on Solana. So essentially what you can do, you can take your Step Finance tokens, stake them, and in return you'll get Xstep, and Xstep receives a portion of the fees generated by Step Finance. So any fees that generate by Step Finance goes to the Step DAO, and then that will be rewarded to Xstep stakers. So that's really cool because it adds utility to the Step Finance token, and that token hasn't really been doing so well quite recently. So hopefully this tokenomics change can help pump up the price of Step Finance. And so I'll definitely be keeping an eye out on this token going ahead in the future. So the next news item comes from Raydium and Magic Eden, as they have joined forces to boost Solana NFTs. So essentially what the partnership does is it allows for Raydium users to be able to trade NFTs natively on Raydium, powered by Magic Eden. So all projects who list NFTs will be dual listed on Raydium and Magic Eden, doubling the liquidity and engagement. So that's quite important because now there are so many Solana NFT marketplaces. The liquidity is fractured. So you might have Aurorians, for example. The floor for Aurorians might be like 26 on Solana Art, whilst on Magic Eden it might be 45. So by having a partnership with Raydium and Magic Eden and doing the dual listing, it means that, as it says here, the liquidity and engagement has doubled, which is excellent and something that is much needed. What I'm looking really forward to is a NFT marketplace aggregator, so we don't have to keep searching through 4 different websites to find the true floor price for a project. Magic Eden will also integrate Raydium swaps, allowing any token to be used as payment for NFTs on the platform. So that is amazing as well. I'm super pleased about that. So that doesn't mean you have to have constant exposure to Sol to buy and sell NFTs. So that's a massive step in the right direction. And Raydium drop zone projects get priority verification on Magic Eden. They can onboard and list new projects in less than 10 minutes. So this partnership is quite significant, and I'm looking forward to how it affects the NFT ecosystem on Solana in the future. To me, this really seems like Magic Eden has solidified its place as the top NFT marketplace. The next news item comes from the Solarians, and they have an important update. So we can see here in the thread, after extensive internal discussions with FTX, we do not see a feasible way to proceed with fee sharing for Solarians whilst remaining compliant to all regulations. So if you are familiar with Solarians, it's essentially the first generative avatar project on Solana. And effectively, what the investment thesis for the Solarians was is that if you owned Solarians, you would get a revenue fee, you would get a revenue share of the digitalized marketplace. So the digitalized marketplace has a ton of fees that occur when you transact on the marketplace, and I think 0.1% of those fees were going to people who hold Solarians NFTs. However, they've pivoted on that stance, and they're announcing that they're no longer going to be doing the fee sharing for Solarians, simply because I think by doing the fee sharing, it turns the Solarians into unregistered securities, and the team are quite wary of that, and they don't want to get into any trouble with the US government, so they've completely done a 180 on the fee sharing, and that's dramatically affected the price of the Solarians, because that was one of the major investment thesis behind the Solarians was the fee revenue share, and the fact that Digitalize at one point was the #1 Solana NFT marketplace. I mean, they were really good for business development and listing NFT collections quickly. However, they've fallen by the wayside. And this is just another sort of nail in the coffin for Digitalize. The next news item comes from Mango Markets. So Mango Markets has the V3.1 new release. So essentially, you'll be able to use new advanced orders. So you have stop losses, stop limits, take profits, and take profit limits, along with improved account statistics, so interest earned and paid, and funding rates. So this is just another step in the right direction for Mango Markets to really just improve user experience and really replicate the experience of a centralized exchange. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is Light Protocol. So Light Protocol is the very first sort of tornado cash on Solana. So it's a token mixer. You'll be able to do private transactions on Solana. So how it works is that you deposit to the anonymity pool and you get a note in return. Then any address can withdraw with that note. So essentially, it just allows you to shuffle money between wallets without it being trackable on the blockchain. So that's quite cool. I mean, Tornado Cash has seen a lot of use on Ethereum, so I can see Light Protocol also getting a lot of use on Solana too. But right now, it's currently only in beta on the DevNet, so no real money's involved. But make sure just to check it out. They might reward you for doing so, but just keep an eye out for Light Cash going live in the future if that's something that is interesting to you. And for the second part of this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about some stuff that I think you should keep an eye out for next week. And the first thing on the agenda is Dawn 2, which is the Solrise Finance Mainnet competition happening on the October 18th. Dawn 2 is a trading competition with real funds run on the Solana mainnet. The core rules of the competition are simple. Whoever generates the highest cash returns wins. So essentially, this is just a 2-week-long closed beta competition using real funds. They're giving away a total of 800 golden tickets, NFTs, that will allow access to the beta, both through the Solrise Finance and through partners. And then we'll see who's the best investor in the Dawn tournament. So I'm quite excited and looking forward to seeing how that pans out. The second thing that you should be keeping an eye out for is Apricot Finance's mainnet launch. So Apricot Finance is a lending and borrowing marketplace. So if you're familiar with Poor Finance, Larix, Solend, Jet Protocol, Apricot Finance is very similar to that. Here they say that early users will be retroactively rewarded for lending, borrowing, and farming activities. So I've gone into the Discord, and essentially this is particularly just for the mainnet launch. So if you go into the mainnet launch and do all these activities, you will be rewarded in the future with retroactive liquidity mining rewards. I'm fairly certain that's how it's going to play out. And then October 21st, we have the AURY IDO. So they will be doing an IDO for the AURY token. I've done a video detailing the AURY IDO and how it's going to play out. So you can check that down in the description below. So essentially the AURY token is just going to be the in-game currency for AURY. So if you're bullish on AURY, it might make sense to pick up some of these tokens. The open beta for AURY is happening next month. So it might be time to start accumulating tokens. And I think that most new tokens that come to Solana usually pump within the first 1 to 2 weeks. So I think this is probably guaranteed profit, really. The next thing happening on that very same day is the Element4ls Mint. So Element4ls is a new Solana NFT project that I'm bullish on. It looks interesting, and they're doing their mint on the 21st. So if you are interested in this and you don't think you can make the mint, don't worry about it, because typically for the last few weeks, Solana NFT mints haven't been doing well. So there is a good chance you can snipe a good entry once people mint and then sell below mint price. I don't know why people do that, but they are. So you might be able to get a good entry on the secondary market. And then the day after, we have Cropper Finance. So Cropper Finance are doing their fertilizer farm launcher. So farmers are able to register for a whitelist that gives them access to a community farm event prior to the project's farm being open to the public. Fertilizer events only feature projects carefully reviewed and chosen by the Cropper Finance team. So essentially, you have to go up and sign up to a fertilizer whitelist, which kicks off next Friday. So you have registration being open from Friday, October 22nd to Monday, October 25th. And then on the following Tuesday, the community farms will open up. So that will be cool. If you're interested in Cropper Finance and getting in early to these farms, I think they'll be quite lucrative. Make sure to sign up for the whitelist. And the last thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about that you should keep an eye out for is the Tower DAO Mint. So Tower DAO is an NFT project. Essentially, just offers you these cool NFT apartments, and they're quite integrated within the Solana NFT ecosystem. But yeah, make sure to check out this mint. This is going to be one of those mints that sell out instantly. It's got a lot of hype around it, and if you just want to do a quick flip, you're almost guaranteed to make money off of this particular mint. But of course, none of this is financial advice. Make sure to do your own research regarding these NFT mints and anything else that I talk about during this video. But I hope you enjoyed this video, you learned something new. Make sure to subscribe for more weekly updates like this one, and if you like the video,